4642, or check out their Facebook page. Ensign's Pub is closed on Sunday and Monday, but Brandon Ensign and his fantastic crew at Ensign's Pub also have the Tinora Rams on their TVs. So stop in before or after the game at Ensign's Pub for the best hot beef sandwiches anywhere. Matt Yost of RE/MAX Realty of Defiance has been the top sales agent for the past 20 years in a row and has also been Defiance's #1 agent year after year. Matt is a very motivated individual who works hard for his clients, whether it be sellers or buyers. Matt currently is a 6-time winner of the prestigious RE/MAX Platinum Club Award, which honors high-achieving real estate professionals for their service to buyers and sellers during the past year. Let Matt's 22 years of experience help you during your property search or sale, as he is fully committed to helping his clients and consumers find the home or property that is right for them. Matt serves all of Napoleon, Bryan, Paulding, and Defiance counties. Give him a call at the RE/MAX Realty office at 419-784-3070 or directly at 419-438-0790. Schlegel Family Farms is a proud supporter of Tinora Rams. Tinora alums, the Schlegels, Chris, Becca, Kennedy, Ian, and Lucas say, "Let's go Rams."
Did you know that we have a shop right here in Defiance that specializes in gas and electric golf cart repair? Aftershock Carts is a full-service shop and has been building, customizing, and repairing golf carts for years. Aftershock Carts has a huge supply of new Trojan batteries and any part you need for your cart. Located at 8144 State Route 15 in Defiance, 784-1806, and online at aftershockcarts.com. Stop out and look for the building with the cart on top.
The Stevens Body Shop is your #1 voted auto collision repair facility in Northwest Ohio. We have recently built a brand new state-of-the-art 20,000 square foot body shop along with a 2,500 square foot addition to our paint shop. This includes a brand new eco-friendly paint booth that is top of the line. At Batten Stevens, we use the latest and newest technology the industry has. We are your experts on all makes and models of vehicles and are the only Chrysler Ford collision repair facility in Northwest Ohio. Give us a call today at 419-497-3111 to schedule your free estimate or stop by and visit us in downtown Jewell, Ohio. At Stevens Body Shop would like to wish all teams good luck this season.
Looking for home or auto insurance? About building for retirement or looking to start a small investment portfolio for your family? Bidlack Insurance and Financial Services of Defiance has you covered. Tim Bidlack of Bidlack Insurance and Financial Services has over 10 years of investment experience. Tim can assist in estate planning, IRAs, 401k investments, among other financial planning areas. Need home or auto insurance? Welcome Austin Bidlack. He can assist you on those. At Bidlack Insurance and Financial Services, they will work one-on-one with you to make sure your home, auto, and business are protected. Bidlack Insurance and Financial Services are located at 912 East 2nd Street in Defiance. Call Tim or Austin at 419-438-0023 today for a free quote. You can visit them online or on their Facebook page as well. Bidlack Insurance and Financial Services wish the best to all the Tinora Rams athletes this season. BSN Sports, the recognized leader in team athletic gear. BSN forms partnerships with educators, coaches, and students to build school pride, student engagement, and community spirit. Our partnerships give you access to the most brand names in the industry with all of the hottest products at the best prices. From Nike to Wilson to Under Armour, we can customize any team needs. Since 1972, BSN Sports has brought you the brands that make you untouchable on the field, the court, or anywhere else you play your sport. Contact BSN local sports rep Jim Garris for any of your sports needs at 419-516-8940. Clubhouse Pizza in A is your small town alternative for happy food at a happy place. Featuring one of the area's best pizzas, Clubhouse Pizza in A will not disappoint. Wing Wednesdays, buffets on Thursday, happy hour on Friday. That's just a few of the things Clubhouse Pizza in A has for specials. Stop out after the game for amazing food, great drinks, and an awesome atmosphere. Hours of operation are Wednesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Or order some takeout at 419-658-2720. Come by for a visit at 210 East Main Street in A, or check them out on Facebook at Clubhouse Pizza in A. Rachel and Jason Gilliam and the great staff at Clubhouse Pizza in A are proud supporters of the Rams. Ladies, are you looking for a new hairstyle? What about some new fancy nails? Jim Bidlack and her fantastic crew at Cut and Polish Salon of Defiance is your local salon to get you all fancied up. Cut and Polish Salon offers a vast range of fantastic services, including haircuts, highlights, coloring, waxing, manicures, and pedicures. Please schedule a visit at their fun, relaxing salon where you are their number one priority. Cut and Polish Hair and Nails is located at 413 Hopkins Street in Defiance. Book your appointment today by calling 419-576-5087 or simply visit their Facebook page for online booking. Cut and Polish Salon owner Jenny Bidlack and her staff say, "Go Rams!" Who has the best pizza in the area? Well, for 4 of the last 5 years, it's Drop Zone Pizzeria in Ayersville and Stryker. From amazing subs to mouth-watering wings to their famous pickle pizza, Harold, Liz, and the crew are always making something spectacular for their customers. Drop into Drop Zone Pizzeria's 2 locations. In downtown Ayersville at 13995 Fruit Ridge Road, and also at 301 South Defiance Street in downtown Stryker. Or order by calling Ayersville at 419-395-2525 or Stryker at 419-990-2525. ToastTab.com. Be sure to visit them on Facebook at Announce. The Dr. Kayla is now accepting new patients. Long-term goal for families of Northwest Ohio. We help you achieve this goal by working closely with you and personalizing your treatment plan based on your needs. Come see Dr. AJ and Dr. Kayla at 100 Stadium Drive in Defiance or give them a call, 419-576-5070 to schedule your appointment or book online at fairchildfamilycairo.com. Dr. AJ and Dr. Kayla, proud members of the Tinora Athletic Boosters, say go Rams. You smell that burger? It's coming from the Firestone Tavern. For 3 straight years, Firestone Tavern has brought home the award for best burger in the region. Firestone Tavern is also a go-to for wood-fired pizza, great appetizers, and so much more. Chef Aaron and his fantastic staff are here to serve nothing but the best to their customers. Be sure to stop out after the game tonight for ice cold drinks and all the games on TV you can ask for. Located at 211 Carpenter Road at the Eagle Rock Golf Course. In a hurry, give Firestone Tavern a call at 419-785-4015. Online ordering is also available at firestonetavern.com. Firestone Tavern wishes the best to the Tinora student athletes. Local farmer, do you need the best crop insurance in the area? If so, Hall Crop Insurance is here to help. Contact Agent Chad Hall at 419-576-6140 for all of your crop insurance needs. Underwriter Nikki Geisinger is also available to assist at 866-341-2767. The staff at Hall Crop Insurance takes pride in their ability to serve their customers. If you need to talk to an agent or have questions about your policy, please give Chad or Nikki a call. Hall Crop Insurance wishes the best to all Tinora teams this season. Higbee Embroidery of Defiance offers custom screen printing and custom embroidery to local high schools and individuals from all areas. Connie Higbee and her staff have been serving and supporting Tinora High School as well as the Tri-County area since 1999. From throws to t-shirts to school jackets and much, much more, Higbee Embroidery is here to serve your custom needs. Higbee Embroidery also offers custom artwork if it is needed to complete your project. Higbee Embroidery is located at 1940 East 2nd Street, right here in Defiance, Ohio. Contact them at 419-428-3000 or visit them online at higbee.com or Higbee Embroidery on Facebook. If you are looking for a customizable item, Higbee Embroidery is your place. Higbee Embroidery, a proud sponsor of the Tinora Rams Live Player of the Game Award. Maumee Valley Title Agency of Defiance has been providing seamless and transparent real estate closings in Northwest Ohio for 30 years. From contract to closing, their experienced team of attorneys and title agents work with lenders, businesses, and individuals to meet their real estate needs. Maumee Valley Title Agency proudly serves Defiance, Fulton, Henry, Paulding, Putnam, and Williams counties. Call the office today at 419-782-3334, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or visit them online at maumeetitle.com. Maumee Valley Title Agency of Defiance, which is all Tinora Rams athletes the best this season. Looking for an opportunity where you can grow your career, be appreciated, and be an owner where you work? Did we say owner? Yes. MEC is an employee-owned company that is highly involved and actively supports the communities in which our facilities are located. Mayville Engineering needs you. MEC is an employee-owned business where our focus is our customer success and has been named the nation's #1 fabricator for 12 consecutive years in a survey published by the Fabricator magazine. Join the MEC family today. Full and part-time positions are available. $1,000 sign-on bonus, 401k, vacation and holiday pay, a gain-sharing program, employee stock ownership, medical, dental, and vision insurance, short and long-term disability, and shift premium for second and third shift. Visit our website at mecinc.com. Click on careers or visit the 21 Seneca Street lobby at their Defiance location.
Northwest Ohio Sports is the place for sports rankings, news, scores, podcasts, and more for area athletics. Check them out at Northwest Ohio Sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Okolona Tavern, located in downtown Okolona, is the home of the famous Okie Tavern wings. Stop in after the game and get some delicious wings, burgers, fries, onion rings, and enjoy an ice cold beverage while talking about the game. Hours of operation are Tuesday to Sunday, opening at 4 p.m. Check out the Okolona Tavern on Facebook for a menu before you head out. Mexican food specials every Thursday and Sunday. The Okolona Tavern, a proud supporter of the Tinora Rams. Optimal Performance Fitness is not just your typical gym. Here at OPF, you don't pay for a membership just to hop on a treadmill. We are a fitness coaching center that strives to provide an experience like no other. We provide accountability and results. You either work one-on-one with a certified personal trainer or in a group setting with like-minded people. Here at OPF, we want to change your mindset of going to the gym into something that you enjoy and look forward to doing. Rather than going to the gym merely to work out, we train at OPF. We are your cheering section, your motivators, and soon-to-be family. Optimal Performance Fitness strives to help you achieve the best version of yourself. Contact us today to take that first step. It could be life-changing. Stop with all the excuses. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. Call Jake at 419-438-7265 and get started today at Optimal Performance Fitness. Here at Patriot Outdoors Hunting, we are driven by one single goal: to show support to military service members through the therapy of the outdoors. Patriot Outdoors Hunting is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping America's service members after their time on the battlefield has ended. One of the ways we help these brave individuals is through the therapy of the outdoors. If you are a veteran or know a veteran who would enjoy an outdoor experience, please share their name and contact information with us. Patriot Outdoors also invites all veterans to register with us. Each month, we will pick winners of Patriot's outdoor gear, as well as notify veterans of upcoming events. Registering with us will also enter you into our Hunts of a Lifetime. These trips include deer, turkey, and wild boar. To help fund a veteran on an excursion or to donate a product or service to allow more veterans to take part, please contact us at patriotoutdoorshunting@gmail.com or call Jeremy at 419-579-0427. Patriot Outdoors Hunting, connecting veterans with the outdoors, home of the free because of the brave.
Tired of losing money on your 401k or other retirement accounts? Well, you're not alone. Do what many area residents have done and call Postgame Insurance and Investments.
Tonight on Tinora Rams Live, high school volleyball. Here with all the action is Michael Sebring.
Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to Tinora Rams Live coverage of all things Tinora sports as we are now into the final 2 days of the postseason here for volleyball of the 24-25 high school year. This is Michael Sebring coming to you live from the Cut and Polished Hair and Nail Salon atop the corner perch here of Butler High School Gymnasium here in Vandalia, Ohio. We are in the 50th season of varsity volleyball here at Tinora High School, and what an unprecedented and historic 50th season it has been. We've made our way down to the Final Four, also known as the state semifinals of the OHSAA volleyball tournament. Just one win away from the state championship match. This will be match number 28 for the Tinora Rams, as the undefeated number 5 team in the state of Ohio, the Tinora Rams, will take on the number 14 team in the Division 6, the Pleasant Spartans from Marion, Ohio. Joining me today doing fantastic color commentary here for the first time all year is one of my coaching mentors, a fantastic longtime volleyball coach at the University of I guess it's Ohio Northern University. I don't want to say that backwards. Ohio Northern University, recently retired in the last few years, but had that program annually ranked in the top 25 in Division III programs. So I'm so pleased to have her joining us in the broadcast booth here to do color commentary all match. Miss Kate Whitty. Coach, thanks for joining me.
Mike, I am very honored to be here and be part of this great excitement. And we've done a lot of experience we've had with each other from doing camp for many summers together at Tinora. And so I'm excited to be here to watch good volleyball in the state of Ohio.
You've known my daughter Paige and watched her play volleyball since she was about knee high to your middle blockers.
Absolutely, both of your daughters. It's been a pleasure.
You did camps for us at Tinora and then continued at Southview.
Exactly, and I remember many times being at Tinora. Really good athletes, very good school, and always have been very well coached. So what a great way to continue your season with an opportunity to go to the Final Four here.
So let's the Batten Stevens Body Shop first service set for 7:30. Let's get into the Signs Excavating pregame show. Signs offers a variety of excavating and trucking services. They can assist you with general excavating services, demolitions. They are the official pregame sponsor of all the Tinora Fall sports. For your excavating needs, you can call Josh at 419-769-2290, or you can call Brad at 419-481-3738 for a good time or for your trucking needs. You can also visit them on Facebook or signs excavating.com. Not any history to talk about between these two schools as you get this deep in the tournament, and for the third match in a row, Tinora will face an opponent for the first time they've ever played in the 50-year series of Tinora volleyball. So Tinora versus Marion Pleasant will be first one for the record books. Let's take a look at some of the season highlights for Tinora. They started off the season with a great opening match, a 3-1 win over a strong Eastwood team. And then their opening early season match in GMC play was a win over Fairview, who had won the last two conference titles, 3-1. And then a tri-match weekend up in the Toledo area, defeating Ottawa Hills for the first time before they would beat them in the tournament again. And then also Division 5, number 6 team at the time, Bluffton, they beat 2-1. Then they took on Archibald Blue Streaks, who were pushed into 5 sets for the first time all year, but Tinora won that 5th set against Archibald 15-2. Archibald was a regional participant in Division 5 this year. And then a sweep of their bitter rivals from across the river, Ayersville Pilots, before Tinora won Haggerty Bowl 3 as mom Bretta Haggerty is now 3-0 against her daughter Bree Brenner, and with victory over Defiance 3-1. And then Tinora closed out the regular season with a win over an 18-win Edgerton team to go a perfect 22-0. The GMC champs 7-0, and the unofficial champs of the NWOAL as they beat all 8 teams in that league as well. Tinora's only dropped 10 sets through their 27 matches so far this year, and since they've started tournament, they got the brooms out again as they swept Toledo Christian in the sectional final and then swept Hicksville and Ottawa Hills in the districts for a 3-1 win victory over Monroeville, who was 24-1 at the time in the regionals, and then an epic comeback as they pulled off the reverse sweep over the number 3 team in the state and 2-time defending state champs of the old Division 4, New Bremen, in the regional final. And Coach, if you can get a win over a New Bremen team, you know you're playing really good volleyball.
Absolutely. The MAC schools are just outstanding. And just from my experience of having coached at Ohio Northern for 30 years, they are some of the best in the state and by far. And the unfortunateness is they always seem to be in the same district and sectional and regional together, and they just kill each other. I mean, they are always good athletes and very, very well coached at small school level. So very impressive group. And so they are very much game ready to be able to compete with anyone.
Well, in the final Division 6 coaches poll, number 1, 2, and 3 was Coldwater, St. Henry, and New Bremen, who were all in the same conference.
Yeah,
I mean, what an embarrassment of riches.
I know. It's just so hard. So you're really very have the opportunity to be very seasoned to be able to play against anyone in the state in any variety of ways, of any types of ways that people would play offensively and defensively. They're just ready to play because they're so well coached. These small schools still have a variety of student athletes that are multi-sport athletes. They might specialize and play club and play AU basketball, but they're small enough to be able to get a lot of kids that play a lot of sports. And I think that's so still important at this level.
Yeah, because they don't just excel on the volleyball court. I mean, they're a football field, they're dominant. Basketball teams are, I mean, it's everywhere. There's athletic. It's a ridiculous embarrassment of riches in that conference.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many state championships in football they've all won. Who knows? Between Minster, Coldwater.
Marion Local just set the state record for consecutive wins of like 58 in a row.
Yeah,
they haven't lost in 5 years.
It's amazing. And that's a community that believes in their young men and young women to be able to do well and support them. And that's unique because that is certainly not across the level of high school across the country.
Take it from someone who's recruited college volleyball players for 30 years.
Yeah,
right?
I really am very, humbled to watch the MAC again because, that was a place I loved to recruit. And I was fortunate enough to get one kid from each MAC school in my 30 years. So I felt very good about that.
Let's take a look at some of the stat leaders for the Tinora Rams. Paige Gamby, first team All-Ohio this year in Division 6, leads the team with 316 kills, 762 attempts, 3.6 kills per set. Tatum Krebs is number 1 on the team. She was honorable mention All-Ohio. She is 370 attack percentage with her 264 kills, getting 3 kills per set. At the service line, Zoe Rostai has racked up 88 aces. Second is Paige Sebring, who has 70. The Rams as a team average 4 aces per set, almost unheard of to get 4 aces per set, exactly on the nose as a team. Avery Morris still has a team high 96.4 serve percentage. She's only missed 8 of her 220 attempts. Up to the net blocking wise, Tatum Krebs has 22 solo and 63 assists for a total of 85 blocks. Kenzie Nago, the other middle, has 12 solo and 28 assists for her 40 blocks. So Tatum Krebs in the narrowest stat race on the team, leads the team in points by 1.5 with her blocking and ace totals over Paige Gamby. 367.5 points, getting 4.1 points per set to Gamby's 366, getting also 4.1. And the defense in the back row, Paige Sebring, the libero, has 339 digs, getting 3.8 digs per set. Gamby is second back there as well, 251 digs. Setters, Owe Rostai has a team-high 530 assists, an assist percentage of 44.1.
Wow.
Assist percentage is
that's impressive.
I've been bragging about this to myself all year. It's nice to have someone up here that can just hear that number and go, wow, that's a big number.
That is a big number.
44% assist percentage.
That's phenomenal.
And the other setter for Tinora, Ella Schaublin, has 380 assists, and just a sophomore, she has a 39.8% assist percentage. So great stats here for the Rams as they are led by their head coach, Britta Haggerty, in her 23rd overall season 10 here at Tinora, where she's 216-38, was just District 7 Coach of the Year. She's Krista Bainfeld, Morgan Aiden, and Brooklyn Reinecke along for the tournament run. She's Division 6 this year in this new crazy 7-division system. Let's take a look now at the Pleasant Spartans. They come in tonight's match at 24-3 overall. They went 11-3 in the Mid-Ohio Athletic Conference, which I got to admit, that was new to me. I had not heard of that conference before. We played Pleasant here tonight. In that conference, it's 8 teams, but you play everybody twice. So that's why they're 11-3, 14 conference matches. They lost 3 conference matches, but they avenged all 3 of those losses. They split with Galleon, Highland, and Shelby. And Shelby just lost yesterday in the state semifinals in Division 4. So they split with those guys. So the story of the Spartan offense, though, is 5'10" sophomore middle blocker, Cameron Cockerell. This young lady is second in Division 6 in total kills with 502 and first in Division 6 with 6.4 kills per set. That 6.4 actually ranks her 5th overall in the state of Ohio if you include all 7 divisions, all while hitting a very efficient 390 attack percentage and a team-high 75 aces at the service line as well. Once you add in her 65 blocks, Cockerell is getting a whopping 8.2 points per set. So job one for the Rams is going to be knowing where number 8 is on the court at all times. The drop-off from Cockerell's 502 to second place is almost 300 kills. The senior middle blocker, Kensley Davis, at 215 total kills. Senior libero, Maddie Pendleton, leads the team with 337 digs at 4.2 digs per set. And the setter running a 5-1 offense for the Spartans is senior Sydney Smith, who's dished out 821 assists. Of course, 502 of those going to one player. That's a big number. The head coach of the Spartans is Corey Udy, assisted by Jocelyn Stout, Melinda Wilkins, Rachel Harbaugh, and Alyssa Holler. They, of course, as we mentioned, represent the MOAC, the Mid-Ohio Athletic Conference. And they are also, of course, Division 6. And we are just about ready to get things going. We'll send it down for the announcement of the lineups here and the start. I don't know if they'll do the national anthem again before they already did it before the first game, but if they do, we'll have that for you too.
Competing in tonight's state semifinal contest. First for our visitors from Defiance, Ohio, Rams. Starting lineup for Tinora on the outside, number 3, Paige Gamby. Number 7 on the outside, senior Avery Morris. On the middle, junior number 8, Christina Meyer. Wearing number 10 in the middle, senior Kenzie Noggle. The center is a senior number 15, Zoe Rostai. In the middle, junior number 16, Tatum Reps. Was a senior wearing 12, Paige Sebring. The Rams led by assistant coaches Brooklyn Reinecke, Morgan Aiden, Megan Engel, and Christina Bainfeld. The head coach at Tinora, Britta Haggerty. And now let's get the starting lineups for the Marion Pleasant Spartans. Number 4, Quinn Wilson. Number 9, Cass. Number 10, Kate McGinnis. Number 12, Caitlin Cockrell. Number 15, Brooklyn Davis. Starting lineup for the Spartans. Number 2, Cameron Roberts. Wearing number 5, Sydney Smith. Number 6, Siri Belladonna. Wearing number 8, Cameron Cockrell. Number 11, senior Hensley Davis. Number 14, Lexi Hutchinson. And the libero for the Spartans, number 1, Maddie Pendleton. The Spartans were led by assistant coaches Alyssa Holler, Rachel Harbaugh, Linda Wilkins, and Jocelyn Stout. The head coach at Pleasant, Corey Ute.
All right, so no national anthem. They took care of that before the first match, which was won by Coldwater 3-1. So they advance to the state championship game tomorrow at 5, and the winner of this match will move on to take them as well. One thing that jumps out at you, Coach, when you look at the lineup for Pleasant is they have only 3 seniors on the roster, and on top of that, only 1 junior. So only 4 upperclassmen. This team's in the state semifinals powered by underclassmen.
Yeah, that's, that it works both ways. Sometimes you have a young group of kids and they played ball together and they really don't know enough to know. And so they just go play versus having a lot of experience. And Tinora has a lot of experience. They have a lot of seniors on the floor and juniors. So, it'll be interesting. To me, volleyball is quite simple. It doesn't matter if you're in the Big Ten and you watch Ohio State or whoever you watch. It's all about who can pass and who can serve tough and keep people out of system. That's really the basis of everything. And it doesn't matter, again, which level you're at. It's that pass receive, and it's keeping people out of system offensively with a really tough serve.
So let's take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by Brother Taco. Pleasant's going to go with sophomore DS Cameron Roberts, senior setter Sydney Smith, sophomore DS Siri Valendia, sophomore outside hitter Cameron Cockrell. Keep your eye on her. Senior middle blocker Kensley Davis, and freshman outside hitter Lexi Hutchinson. We'll get the Rams lineup here. We are underway. First serve in the air. Good pass by Tinora in the middle to Kenzie Nagel. She is dug in transition. They're going to set the ball outside. Cockrell gets her first swing of the game, and it's going to be a kill as the dig attempt from Paige Gamby is over wide, out of bounds. The starting lineup for Tinora is senior setter Zoe Rostai, senior middle blocker Kenzie Nagel, senior outside hitter Avery Morris, junior outside hitter Paige Gamby, junior right side hitter Christina Meyer, junior middle blocker Tatum Krebs, and senior libero Paige Sebring. Good dump out there from the setter. You have the 6-2 offense, Coach. Your setters can't be super offensive in the air, but if they're sneaky with those dumps, you can still get points.
Absolutely, and it really keeps the defense off balance. If you start that and you show that early in a match, that makes your defense have to adjust.
Avery Morris with a drop serve gets the service ace for Tinora. Those float serves, you never know which way they're going to go, but when the bottom falls off of them, it's almost always a guaranteed ace.
Absolutely, they're tough. And this is how Tinora got here, from behind the service line. This is what placed them and beat New Bremen.
Good pass this time in system. Back set to the right side. Blocker in the net for Tinora. Kenzie Nagel gets called to the net violation. That's going to be a side out and a kill for Kensley Davis, one of the 3 seniors there. Now serving will be the libero, who's also a senior, Maddie Pendleton, for the Pleasant Spartans. Good pass from Gamby's. Rostai gives it right back to her. She's blocked, though, right down the line. Block brought to you by Hall Crop Insurance. Pleasant gets the first block of the match. They had a nice double block formed out there. He closed down the line. Gamby tried to take that line, but they closed it up.
It's a lot of apprehension right now. People are just trying to settle in. It all starts from that, again, the serve receive.
Trying to get your feel out your opponent early in the match. Obviously, these teams have never seen each other except for on some video. Tip picked up by Gamby. Rostai back to Gamby. Tipped in the middle. Pleasant is there. They go to their middle blocker right through. 2 kills now for Cockrell. She'll hit some outside. She'll hit some middle, but you always got to know which position she's in. They run a 3-middle offense, so she'll swing from both positions, but she's deadly wherever she is.
And it's smart. Coach put her in left front to begin because you want her to have as many swings as early in the match as possible.
Good pass from Sebring. Rostai out to Gamby. Jam shot down the line. Kind of handcuffed the libero. A little out of system. Cross-court swing. Sebring with the dig. Rostai set her dump again. Too far off this time. They pick this one up. Back to Cockrell in the middle. She got on top of that ball. Big kill for Cockrell in the middle. You almost have to double block a middle that's that dynamic, don't you?
Yeah, you do. And, she's in the front row, and you really just have to commit to her. Just start moving blockers. Swinging, especially if she's in the middle. Maybe you commit your left side, just stand in front of her.
And the setter's in the front row right now, so the left side has no blocking responsibilities. Nago from the right side. Looked, that might have skipped off the platform of the passer, but they say no touch. Wide on the cross-court shot.
Those always drive you nuts as a coach because the girl swung and missed.
I know that.
And you just think, how could she not contact the ball? But called out.
5-point run here from the Spartans. They're up 6-2 on the drop zone pizzeria scoreboard. Gamby down the line. Nice dig out there by Pendleton. Cross-court shot from Pleasant is wide out of bounds. Attack air. Side out to Nora.
And I just think that play right there exemplifies what Tinora needs to do to be successful. You serve them tough, and then you commit. You make them because their pass isn't good enough to be able to set someone else the number 6. 8, excuse me.
Yeah, Cockrell. There she is. Roll shot. Dug by Morris. Rostai's going to go to Krebs, who just checked in. She cut another nice dig. Pendleton all over the place. Cockrell cannot be blocked. She cuts that to the left this time around the middle block and gets another kill. She's up to 4 kills already.
Tinora just needs to get her out of the front row. She's got one rotation. She's in right front right now. I mean, this is where they just have to just be steady, get her out of the front row, and then let's see how it shifts and it change.
Cockrell, only a sophomore.
Yeah.
2 more. She's going to finish with 2,000 kills in her career. She has 500 this year alone. Nice deep shot there from Gamby. Didn't have the lift to really try to get on top of that ball, so instead she used the longest part of the court, and everyone always thinks that's out.
So smart. That is undiggable. That's the perfect place to hit it.
Setter switch out. In comes Ella Schaublin along with Alina Ankney.
So right now, Tinora needs to just serve tough, and they need to get her out of the front row.
Yeah, the next point for Pleasant will move her out of the front row. You don't want to give it that easy, but it did get the point across, and now Cockrell will go to the back row, and she does lead the team in aces too, so you got to get her off the service line.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never scouted or seen them. If she's that gifted, I'd set her in the back row. I would set her everywhere.
It feels like 502 kills. She has to get some back row swings in there.
Yeah, I would agree.
Tight pass, set a dump over by Schaublin. Free ball coming from Pleasant. Opportunity for Tinora here with the free ball. We're going to go to their middle. That's a good swing from Tatum Krebs. She gets a kill for the Rams. They now trail 8-5 here in this first set. State semifinal. Winner goes on to play Coldwater tomorrow at 5 o'clock at the Nutter Center in Wright State. Paige Gamby now serving. Outside roll shot over the block is going to score. Nice change up of pace there by Brooklyn Davis.
And I got to tell you, people always would ask me, why is the middle of the court open? Well, it's not. There's no perfect defense. There's always going to be a vulnerable place. And area 3 of the court right there is just a very difficult place to dig. A lot of people score there.
Tough pass. Gamby. Krebs helps out. High bump set. Out to the left hand of Morris, but she puts that in the net. Really tough. It's tough being a left-handed outside, but if you're going to be a left-handed outside, taking the ball out of system from 30 feet away, that's even harder.
Yeah, it is. Right now, Tinora's a little tight. Maybe not playing as well as the level they're expected.
Tight pass from Sebring. Jam down. That's going to be an overpass and a kill for number 11, Kensley Davis. You cannot feed anybody a ball right on top of the net like that. Coach Haggerty feeling what you're feeling, Coach. She's going to take a timeout early in this first set.
You got to settle them down. Right now, there's, very pleasant scoring from the, when their best players in the back row. So Tinora needs to take advantage of that.
Timeout brought to us by Clubhouse Pizza and We'll take timeout with them. Be right back after this on Tinora Rams Live.
Kenton McQuillan of Mossy Oak Properties of Bauer Realty and Auctions of Ohio is here to assist with your real estate needs. Licensed in Ohio, Kenton knows Northwest and Central Ohio very well, as he grew up right here in the Black Swamp area in Northwest Ohio. Whether you're looking for a rangeland, farmland, timberland, or just a residential property, Kenton McQuillan is here to find the right property that fits your needs. Reach out and give Kenton a call today at 419-576-2978. Kenton, back to the action on Tinora Rams Sports Live.
So, Coach, you spent 30 years at Ohio Northern. You originally grew up in Iowa and played high school and college volleyball out in the corner out there. Where'd you play? You played at Iowa State?
No, I played at the University of Northern Iowa.
Northern Iowa.
Yep, they have a great program. I was very fortunate to be part of it, a Panther.
And how did you end up at Ohio Northern from Iowa?
Well, I had an opportunity. I was at Iowa State for a few years, and then there was a position of teaching and coaching position at Ohio Northern, and that's where I ended up in lovely Ada.
Tough pass. Good job by Krebs tipping that to the back corner. Cockrell runs back and gets it. Swing from the right side. That's going to be a kill. Sebring not able to run that down. Swing from the right side. Kill is by Quinn Wilson of Pleasant. And they continue their run. 4 points now, even after the timeout.
What's impressive about Marion Pleasant right now, it's not a one-person show. They have other players in the front row that are being successful as hitters.
Hutchinson serving. Krebs, another push out of the middle. Tinora out of system and out of sorts. They're not getting balls in system, and then it's never a good idea, I think, to bump set a ball to a middle. That's always a faster tempo. If you're going to bump set it, don't give it to a middle.
Yeah, you
got to take that ball to a pin.
Yeah, you do. Middles just don't see it that way. They don't have timing to that bump set ball.
There's a service error in the net. Break for the Rams as Hutchinson buries it, and they get a side out. Just their 6th point of this first set. They trail 13-6. As now Krebs will go back to serve, and Noggle comes back in the front row. Little out of system here off the net. High bump set to the outside. Roll shot down the line. Schaublin digs it. Gamby steps in, bump set to the pin. This time Morris, top of the block though, slowed it down. Pleasant with the dig. They'll set the right side again. Squeeze through the block. Good dig by Gamby though. Schaublin out to Morris. Morris is blocked, covered by Krebs. Now Ankney, tight set, jams it through. Poked up in the air by Pleasant though. Good reaction by the right side. Down ball, Krebs with the dig. Schaublin late getting to it. Tough set, has to be bumped over. But I don't think that went over.
Right now, Tinora is just not in system enough offensively to run any type. So they're very predictable. And when you're predictable, you're really in a lot of trouble. And that's why they're down 14-6.
Coach Haggerty talking to her sophomore setter, Ella Schaublin. Seems like she's just not releasing. There's been good passes in the middle of the floor, and she's getting there late and bump setting.
She's watching a little bit too much instead of releasing and going.
Good pass this time. Schaublin goes to Noggle. Noggle pounds it to the right, cuts it too wide, though. Out of bounds. That time they do get in system, which normally, for them is going to be a conversion, but the attack error, trying to be aggressive to the sideline, but a little overcut.
I mean, you have to put the ball in play and then start to get comfortable a little bit on your approach and the angles of swings.
Good pass again by Gamby. Schaublin's going to go out to Morris. Morris, another attack error, this time long out of bounds. But Tinora has got to, they're a little rattled here, a little shell-shocked, not playing well. Pleasant's really playing well, but.
As a coach, you just are like, okay, let's just try to get as much momentum as we can and to get ready for the next set. But coming back from 10 is hard in rally scoring. Oh.
That was going to be out of bounds. Pleasant does him a favor.
Yeah.
Plays that ball. Attack back. Gamby with the dig, but it's an overpass right to Davis, and Davis puts it down. Well, Tinora got a break, and they didn't use it.
Yeah, right now this could go either way. I mean, this could be Tinora will get some momentum and settle down, or Marion will get to the point, Marion Pleasant will get to the point where they just have a lot of confidence and they just believe. And they've kept Tinora. I mean, if you're doing a ranking of passing in serve receive pattern, if 3 is the highest points, they're passing a 1 point. I don't know what it would be.
Yeah, it's low.
It's low, and that makes an impact because you have to put your setter and your hitters in as good a position as possible, and they haven't. Here,
called by Coach Haggerty. Things are not going Tinora's way in this first set. There was a change to the lineup. Just found out yesterday. A senior right side, Callie Snyder, due to an unfortunate, clerical mistake between credits from transferring college classes to high school classes, was actually found to be ineligible to play. So she's been starting for Tinora all year long, including up to the last match, and just found out last night that she's ineligible due to that miss up there. So you take her out of the lineup, one of your seniors. She's been starting for 2 years. That's an adjustment, and people are going to be emotionally challenged by that.
It is. I mean, any distraction, but good teams have to overcome those distractions. Tinora, but understand, Tinora was down 0-2 to New Bremen and came back. And
Right.
So not all is lost. They just need to get some momentum and play a little bit better at the end of the set and take that into the second set. That's
the beautiful part about volleyball is no matter how bad you get beat, they reset the score to 0-0.
Yes.
So you can wipe away a bad set like this and restart set 2. Kill on the outside. Tinora gives the easy ball to Pleasant, and they take advantage again as Davis gets a kill from the left side.
Right now, Marion Pleasant has a lot of free balls. They're in system, and they're taking advantage of it. What's impressive about them is that, we looked at how many more kills versus their best player has.
Right.
And the rest of them are contributing.
Yeah. It's a 300 kill drop-off from Cockrell to second place.
Yeah, Cockrell's legit.
But everyone else is looking legit here. There's a block by Tinora. Good coverage by Pleasant, though. Tipped that over. That looked like it might have been out, too, but played by Tinora. Tipped over from Morris. Set to the middle. Davis is blocked one-on-one by Nago, but Pleasant picks it up. Great coverage. Tenora's getting touches, but they're not stuffing it. Dig transition opportunity. Morris from the outside. Finally, a kill gets down for the Rams.
Now, that's an example of a point that could change. I swear, it always starts with a really good block and a good swing, and the momentum starts to and momentum is deadly. It is the most scary thing in the world if you have it.
And if you see it slipping away.
Oh, yeah, you do.
That's a 10-1 run by Pleasant before that side out. So now we'll see Zoe Rostai back in. So this is the starting lineup back on the floor for Tinora with Rostai in the 1 position. She leads the team in aces as well. And there it is. Zoe Rostai just on cue. Dials up a service ace from the line.
Yeah, she scored a lot of their points. Obviously, those aces are huge, but just to keep them out of system.
Yeah, even if it's not an ace, if it's a bad pass that's not up by the net, you're still helping your team. This is a better pass. Out of bounds to the right, though. Set back in. Down the line. Shot Sebring with the dig. Rostai back set out to Meyer. Wasn't really ready. Again, someone's not played much varsity this year, and she wasn't quite ready for the attack. She had to go off 1-foot approach and hit it like a slide, and she overcut it and hit it wide out of bounds.
They need all concepts, all parts of their game just need to settle down and be steady. Sometimes you just need to put the ball in play and let the other team make the mistake. It's quite simple.
Cockrell back in the front row now for Pleasant. Set to Nago in the middle. Kenzie Nago delivers a big kill. So at least now the last 2, they've scored 3 of the last 4 points. They're starting to feel a couple balls swinging in bounds.
What I really like about that is, you go to your middle because they're going one-on-one. They're not doubling the middle, so you have a real opportunity to swing left and right to area 1 and area 6 and do it well.
Sophia Stark, the senior DS in the game. She delivered. Oh, that looked like it was right on the end line, but line judge says out.
Yeah, but what I like about that is she's aggressive. You can just, hit easy serves over and get it in play, but you need to be aggressive. People don't always understand that part of volleyball.
Both Pleasant passers just opened up and looked at each other like that was a mistake, and they got bailed out by being just out. Tight set on the inside. Gamby tried to tip it over, but tried to go for the extremely short tip and did not have enough on it to get it over the net.
And I think right now the setter is watching a little bit for Tinora. She just needs to get her feet set and be able to set the ball. She's a little off balance setting, and that's why it's so tight.
21-9. Pleasant on top of Tinora here in this first set. Slide behind to Nago off the block. Great diving pickup out there by the right side. Free ball for Tinora. Opportunity here. Rostai is going to go back out to Gamby. Better set this time, and she kills it. Paige Gamby on time, and the set was in the right location. Kill for Gamby. Now Sebring will go back to serve. She's second on the team in aces with 70 this year.
And Tinora just needs to get some momentum, and it starts in the serving box. And aggressive, keep them out of system, and you know where it's going to go.
Cockrell threw it down. Rostai dug it, but passed it right back over the net to Cockrell, and she did. Second time she swung.
Cockrell's quite explosive. She doesn't have to have an approach. She just goes off 2 feet and goes up and swings hard. Like that a lot about her. Very athletic, impressive.
Listed at 5'10", but I wonder what her touch is, because she's
the
touching.
The other thing is you can tell a lot of these girls that play club, or all of them, because that makes a big difference.
Oh, yeah. Good pass from Stark. A little tight. Rostai, yeah, that's a double. She tried to dump the ball over, I think, and got called for the double contact. A little sloppy.
I got to tell you, this new rule would really bother me as a college coach, because it allows
it drives me crazy watching.
Lesser teams to hang around longer if you can double it all over the place. That would drive me nuts.
Yeah, NCAA changed the rule. You're allowed to double the second ball now, and it's just allowed such sloppy play. Blocked by Pleasant. Picked up by Tinora, but then a miscommunication. Who's going to take the third ball and send it over as Stark runs into Sebring, causing a ball hitting the net. And set point on the board here for Pleasant. They now lead 24-10. Set point brought to you by Oklahoma Tavern. Good pass by Stark, keeping it off the floor. Tip by Gamby is going to score. She's gotten really good this year, Coach, at taking those high sets that are really tight, getting up there, 2 hands on them, and throwing it so tight, but over the net to, again, an indefensible spot.
And you know what? That was something that was really 2 hands always, we would always teach that people know it's going to be a dump.
Yeah.
And now even the Big Ten and other Division I, you see a lot of people doing 2-hand pushes down, and you can almost do anything with the volleyball right now.
Schaublin into serve. Still set point for the Spartans, and that's going to be kill for Cockerell to close it out. She's right on her average, Coach. She averages 6.4. She closes the first set with 6 kills.
Well, I got to tell you, you know what? People would always say, well, what would you say in the huddle right now? You got beat 25-10. Hey, it's over. What's next? I think it's hard as a coach sometimes when your team plays that badly. You feel like you have to fix it. I don't think there's a lot to fix. I think it's just called, you just need to settle down and play how we've played all season. You had to have played well to beat a New Bremen, a state-ranked team. So the thing is, it's like, okay, smile and go, all right, we really weren't very good in that first set, but we're next. Let's go. Let's start over. We get to start over. It's a great opportunity. We got all the bugs out. Let's begin.
So Pleasant takes set number 1 here in the state semifinal.
Looking for home or auto insurance? What about building for retirement? Or looking for a small investment portfolio for your family? Bidlack Insurance and Financial Services of Defiance has you covered. Tim Bidlack of Bidlack Insurance and Financial Services has over 10 years of investment experience. Tim can assist in estate planning, IRAs, 401k investments, among other financial planning areas. Need home or auto insurance? Welcome Austin Bidlack. He can assist you on those. At Bidlack Insurance and Financial Services, they will work one-on-one with you to make sure your home, auto, and business are protected. Bidlack Insurance and Financial Services are located at 912 East 2nd Street in Defiance. Call Tim or Austin at 419-438-0023 today for a free quote. You can visit them online or on their Facebook page as well. Bidlack Insurance and Financial Services wish the best to all the Tinora Rams athletes this season. Clay Fote of Shelter Insurance is here to help you with all of your insurance needs. From home to car to personal to business insurance, Clay is happy to help his customers. As your shelter agent, Clay Fote can help you make sure you get the right coverage at the right price while providing the highest quality service you expect from your insurance agent. Contact Clay Fote at 419-576-5640. Clay is available for both calls and texts, or stop into the office and visit Clay at 424 Clinton Street in Defiance. Clay's hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or by appointment. Clay Fote of Shelter Insurance, a proud Tinora alum, says, "Let's go Rams." Back to the action on Tinora Rams Sports Live.
We're back out here at Butler High School and then Vandalia, and let's see here. Let's see if Rams can rebound here and start at the set 2 as they lost set number 1, 25-11.
You know what? I mean, again, it's a beginning. It's a new beginning. Clean it up. Let's go. We got here for a reason. And so, it comes down to Tinora wasn't in system offensively. They missed some serves. They had some aces, but they just didn't have consistency. So it's called, okay, let's begin. And, you're Marion Pleasant. You have a lot of confidence right now. You kind of see blood in the water like, wow, we're going to take this team. But the second set is always so pivotal to me because it sets the tone for how, you split. Now it's a really brand new game. It's now 2 out of 3. So it will be interesting to see if there's any adjustments by either coach and what they've done. But we know one thing. Number 8 is in left front.
Yeah.
For Marion Pleasant.
And
she's impressive.
You've got to have 4 hands in front of her every time she swings, I feel like. You just got to get 2 blockers.
You just have to commit blocks to her. You're running a 6-2, so you're always going to have 3 blockers in the front row. You just got to commit. Even if you bring 3 over, who cares?
And they start with their setter in front row. So when you have a setter in the front row, she's in right front. She's not a hitting threat.
Exactly.
Your left front has nothing to do. Get in there and double block, right?
Right, exactly.
Tinora will serve to start set 2. First ball goes to Cockrell. It's a little tight. She hits it. Looked like she hit the net on her follow through.
She did.
But they didn't catch it. They thought that was just all ball. So she gets another kill to start set 2.
For Tinora right now, they need to block her. They need to dig her. They need to get into a comfortable phase of their offense, and they start with a pass.
There it is. Good ball in system from Gamby out to Morris. Touch on the block? No touch. That ball was never over. Block attack error from Morris. You can see the down official giving the signal to the up official. He can't call that, but he can signal it. She blew her whistle and said, yep, I agree. No touch. Probably the right call. Rostai is going to go to the middle. It's a Noggle. Noggle puts that one away. Nice kill. Thumb down, swing away that time.
And Noggle did a really nice job of keeping the ball in front of her left shoulder and swinging. That's a really tough angle. And she was successful. 2-1. Hey, let's go.
You always talked about, in all the camps and stuff all the time, all the years talking volleyball with you about, risk versus reward servers, the risk versus, safe servers. And, you got to walk that fine line if you're Tinora, because you're a very tough serving team, but you also just can't give points away at this point when you're struggling.
Oh, exactly.
Another kill for Cockrell out of the middle.
They're not going to win this match unless they take a risk in the serving box. They just aren't. Because they have too many weapons, and especially, their best player.
Yeah, and she's obviously in a groove.
She is, and she's not intimidated by anything. If you put 3 up, who knows?
Avery Morris unable to handle that pass. Kenzie Noggle threw a hand at it to try to help save it, but unable to do so. Another point for Pleasant. They now lead 4-1 in set 2.
And again, when Cochran's in the front row, we just, Tinora just needs to, we're a couple points down. They can't go on a big run. It's just, you can't recover from that.
High bumps that out to Gamby right in the middle of the floor. She's dug by Pendleton. Set to the right side, tipped over the block. Sebring is there diving, but she pulled her hand back thinking that was going to be out, but it caught the sideline. Tip over the block, scores. Up there for Davis.
That's a tough one for the libero to get in left, right there in left back. That's a really very good. I don't know if it was because it was tight, but she did a really nice job of just putting the ball in play.
Gamby tools the block. Doug, though, out of system. Setter takes the first ball, bumps up by the libero. Long roll shot. That time Sebring is right by ducking and letting that go. Is out of bounds. Now 5-2. Tenora gets the side out.
I don't remember Marion Pleasant having many hitting errors. That's one of the first.
Yeah, they were very efficient as far as theirs go.
Yeah. Sebring needs to just bring it here in the back as a server.
Gets that ball out of system. Long run, high, bumps that free ball coming. Got that done. Rostai goes to Krebs. Krebs into the net and down. Again, it's so hard. I know Krebs is one of your best hitters, and you want to get her involved, but when you're passing, you're setting from 10 feet off the net, it's hard to get that ball to a middle.
And I think she needs to mix it up. She needs to tip right over the top of the middle blocker. A tip is as good of a kill as a hard swing.
Yeah, they're all
and
points.
She's a little tight to the net, and that's why she's hitting the bottom of the net.
Cockrell in the back row. Now she serves. Good pass. Gamby from the outside off the top of the block. She's dug by Smith. Tough set this time. Free balled over, but Gamby tries to catch him, nap him. But Pendleton was ready back there in the one corner. Blocked by Tinora. Christina Meyer up there with Tatum Krebs. They get their first block of the match. Brought to you by Hall Crop Insurance. Cut it to 6-3 now.
And that time the middle blocker got over to the pin blocker, and that made a difference, and she closed the block. And that has to give Tinora some confidence that, certainly they can play at the net and terminate the ball at the net. This is a really pivotal time right now in this match. Tough serves.
Yeah, 2 more rotations. They've got Cockrell in the back row, so they need to take advantage. Schaublin, good serve. Set to the outside. Ball top of the net. Dug by Schaublin. Morris steps in. Bump sets it to Gamby. Cross-court shot. Score. Good seam shot by Paige Gamby. Again, not one that she corked on. She just hit it to an open area of the floor.
Yeah, Paige Gamby is legit because she's smart. She's got shots. She hasn't hit line yet, but she hits a really good cross court to the deep corner.
She's tattooed a couple balls down the line. Schablin, service error, puts it in the net. Boy, it's hard to make a run.
Yeah,
You got to serve aggressive, but it's hard to run if you miss serves.
And aggressive is over the net, so they have to make a decision versus the bottom of the net. That's hard.
Lexi Hutchinson now serving, just a freshman. Pass out of bounds, service ace for Hutchinson. Morris unable to handle that ball. Pleasant now leads 8-4 here in set 2 when they already won the first set.
Again, it's settled down. Right now, they're not moving their feet. They're too tight to the ball in serve receive. You got to move your feet and get your platform out in front of you.
Deep serve. Gamby uses the hands. Good pass right back to her. Thumb down, chop shot dug by Cockrell, though, in the back row. Set to the right side. Tip back over by Krebs. Tip right back by Pleasant. Good diving dig there by Ankney. Gamby's roll shot is dug. Transition set to the right side again. Gamby pops it up at the dig. Ankney centers it. Sebring with the short free ball. Picked up, pushed in the back row by Cockrell. Good running dig there by Morris over her head. Gamby down ball. Nice deep cross-court shot. Good rally here. This is going to be a pivotal one, it feels like. Attack, air. The official on the far side has a touch right away.
There was a touch on that.
Yeah, you'd see the ball spinning differently off the hand. Kill on the outside.
That was the best rally of the match so far. And there was a touch. Obviously, the Tinora fans don't agree.
Obviously. Got to get your hands on that ball. Bump set to Gamby. She jams it over. Good dig from Pleasant. Out of the back row. Cockrell gets her first attempt out of the back row and doesn't go real well. She puts it in the net. But Tinora would love for her to hit a couple more airs and maybe start to second guess herself.
Yeah.
I think that might be her first error of the match.
I think it is. You're correct.
Gamby serving, set in the middle. Ball put right in the back corner there by Davis, all the way as far out of the middle as you can go to the corner and right on the sideline in front of the line judge.
That's an undiggable ball. It is. Nobody can dig that. You just hope it's out.
Sebring hoped it was out, thought it was out by her reaction she gave the line judge. She kind of wears her emotion out there in her sleeve, as you know.
Yes.
Good deep pass, or serve. Sebring, great pass. Krebs rips it. Dig, overpass, right back to Tinora. Sebring, Schablin, back to Krebs again in front. This time Krebs hits it in the net. Tinora's getting free balls. If you're not converting free balls into points, you're not having a good night.
No, and she's just too tight. Right now, she's not sighting the ball in front of her left shoulder. I know she's trying to kind of cut it to the right back, but she just needs to get in a position and put the ball. And again, she needs to mix it up. She just keeps hitting the same angle. And a lot of high school kids do that, but Tinora is a good enough program. You got to have a lot of shots, and she needs to tip a little bit because they're so dug in defensively. Marion Pleasant is that they're expecting it. And right now, you just need to put it in play.
Yeah, I feel like she sometimes too when she doesn't have a full transition, she doesn't max jump. She doesn't load up. She just kind of relies on being tall.
Yep.
And then she doesn't have the lift. That's when she hits those errors in the net.
Yep.
So
I would agree with that.
Timeout here by Pleasant. We'll take a quick timeout with them. Be right back here after this on Tinora Rams Live.
Check out Tinora Rams Live. Live events broadcast on YouTube and post-game results, articles, schedules, and more can all be found on TenoraRams.com.
Back to the action on Tinora Rams Sports Live.
All right, Michael Sebring, Coach Kate Whitty joining me here on the broadcast tonight. Coming back here. It's not a big, newer-looking fancy gym, but it's a really nice gym.
It is.
It's spacious, and you got seating on the ends. I haven't been
everyone's
here right on the court.
Absolutely, it's intimate.
Pleasant serving, leading 11-5 here in set 2. Krebs from the right side is blocked, up her own coverage. Schablin will go out to the left pin this time. Morris down ball at the top of the block. Pleasant is there for the dig. They'll set their outside hitter one-on-one. She jams it over top of Ankney. Boy, you never want to give an outside hitter one-on-one. That'll be a kill on the left side for Brooklyn Davis.
And one more rotation, you have Cochran in the front row. You know, right now the middles have to commit. They got to commit to the left side because they've set the middle and they've set the left side. They really have set very little of anything.
Free ball from Tinora. Tough pass tight to the net. There's a block by Tinora, but covered up by Pleasant. Push over the net, dug by Ankney as it clips the tape. Morris, another down ball out of system. Dug easily by Pleasant. Now they'll go to the middle. Jam shot thrown down. Good diving dig from Chaublin. Sebring's going to send the free ball over. Free ball opportunity. They're going to go out to the left swing off the top of the block. Good dig by Gamby. Morris able to get a jump this time. Good swing down the seam, but Pendleton is there. Libero all over the place for the Spartans. Sebring bumps. Get their team going.
I know. That was a good swing. That was a good rally. They did a better job. Is that or putting the ball where the outside the pin hitters like it?
You have a luxury with the left hand outside. Service ace by Krebs. With the left hand outside, you can overset it and then get that nasty cut.
And again, Tinora needs to mix it up. All they do is all they're doing right now is swinging. You need to be able to mix it up. Different shots. Their middle area 3 is wide open. They need to show it.
Swing from the left or right side. That'll score out there for Davis.
And so now number 8, Cochran's in left front, and they have 3 rotations. And in their mind, they're up 13-7. They're like, okay, we're 12 points away from winning the second set. They're in a good position because right now you have the tiny setter up and you have a middle. So you know it's either going to go in the middle or it's going to go to the right. So commit.
Good pass by Morris. Chaublin goes to Noggle. Noggle one-on-one. She gets stuff blocked. Well, you can't ask for much more as a middle blocker than to get a one-on-one situation. But
absolutely.
Nice block by Hall Crop Insurance over there by Kensley Davis, one of the few seniors for the Suns.
Yeah,
they don't list their heights, but she's got to be 6 foot.
Well, absolutely. Mary Pleasant has shown that they're not impacted by the bigness of the moment.
Overpass right to Cockrell. That's not a good idea. Cockrell's on top of that and pounds it down.
You know, sometimes one player can just have that feel and that dominance, and it's a bit of an intimidation. You know, you need to get touches off of her. You don't have to block her straight down, but you got to get touches.
Right.
Tinora seems to struggle a little bit more in serve receive, and she's in the front row.
Nice swing down the line by Morris. The lefty, I've said all year, that's the most impressive thing for me is for a left-handed outside to be able to let that ball get all the way out there and take it down the line perfect.
Oh, that was a great swing. You see, that's mixing it up. She's been cross-court the whole time, and she finally allowed it to cross and hit line.
Senior setter Zoe Rostai back in. She's served.
You know, right now you got to go. Tenora's got to really get after it right now and be aggressive.
Good serve from Rostai. Real pass, though. Set to touch. Boy,
that
Coach.
One, that one I didn't see.
Davis, we had a perfect angle from there. There wasn't a Tinora blocker within 6 inches of that ball. I'm not sure who they said touched it. There was no passer was anywhere near it.
And it was the official on the other side of the net. I didn't see it.
Tough call for the Rams. It's side out for Pleasant. Now it's 16-8. That was an attack error. It was a gift given to the Spartans there, unfortunately, for the Rams. Noggle out of the middle. Good dig. They get an overpass. Can they convert this free ball? Back to Noggle. Goes the other way this time, and she'll get that kill. She went left one time, went back to the right. A little bit of off speed.
Yep.
Not a tip, but she got on top of it.
And if she would just reach high, gather, and get behind the ball and reach high, just catch it would. There's going to be no one behind it. The block in the middle.
Sophia Stark now, the senior DS, checks in for Morris, and she'll serve. Good pass, right in system. Set was too high, though. A misconnect.
Yep.
Boy, you don't see that much at this level. Cockrell's coming in there hot, and the setter just set it a little too high. Cockrell hung in the air as long as she could, but she couldn't reach it. So setting error, point to Nora. That happens time to time, though. Even the best setters and hitters, you miss that.
Absolutely. You have spent so much time.
Overpass tried to be jammed down by Meyer. She didn't get it over. Noggle there to pick it up. Cockrell didn't miss this time. They didn't go as fast. They went a little slower tempo, and Cockrell converts, and she gets her 4th kill of this set. She's up to 10 on the match.
But the positive part is that she's not scored as much in her. Now she's in right front, so she's going to go to the back row after this rotation. Tinora did a better job in the set, somewhat controlling her, but they can't let her score a lot in the next. And it's called, you just have to, volleyball is really about a simple game that's about unforced errors. And Tinora has too many of them.
There's a long swing out of system ball. Tough ball for Gamby, and she tried to go deep part, but she Stark past Rostai, trying to go middle again from off the net. The roll shot from Nagalis picked up. Another oversight of Cockrell. She got a left hand on it this time. Good dig by Rostai. Gamby with the down ball. She's dug by Pendleton. Backs at the right side. That's down the line. That's a big kill out there on the right side for Wilson.
That was impressive. I mean, Marion Pleasant is moving. Their setter's doing a nice job of moving the ball around, and there was really the left side blocker was there, but she wasn't reaching into the court. Did a really nice job, almost using Cochran as a decoy and setting the right side.
And it seems like they're running their setter out of the middle a lot of times.
They are.
Their middle actually took that right side swing, and that wasn't a slide. That was a full right side approach.
It was. I mean, that's really smart because you're mixing it up. You're showing different looks. And you know what? In high school, blocking is really not that sophisticated. And just people understanding you have to follow your hitter. I used to tell my blockers, it's like you can't just look up at the ball. You got to be able to follow the players across the net from you and know where she's going. That's a skill that you have to teach.
Yeah. Yeah, blocking really gets to the next level when you go from high school to college.
Oh, you do.
It's the last thing to be taught. Everything else, you got to pass, you got to set, you got to hit. And also we should block some, you know?
Exactly.
Timeout here called by Coach Bretta Haggerty, brought to us by Clubhouse Pizza and Nay. It's 19-10 on the Drop Zone Pizzeria scoreboard. Rams trail big again here in set 2 after losing set 1, 25-11. So Coach Haggerty taking her second time out here. Coach Whitty, she's just trying to, again, get some momentum built to go into the third set.
Staying away from the libero of Tinora. They're staying away from her. There's a great tip.
Picked up out of system, though. Cross-court shot. Sebring hands dig. Gamby coming in. Blocked, though. Cockrell goes up and gets up there along with Quinn Wilson. Into the Marion Pleasant. They lead 20-10.
And you know what? I mean, it's hard. Young women have, an understanding of it's like, okay, you have to stay poised. We have to start to play a little bit better.
Service there. Good eye there by Stark. That's one thing Pleasant has done a great job so far, all match coaches. They're serving the deep third of the court. They're making Tinora back up.
They are. And they're not moving their feet very well. And then you get shanks.
Or you get hand passes, which are usually not as accurate as a platform.
No, they're not. That's hard. I mean, that is.
Short serve ace by Sebring. I've worked with that girl. I've worked with that girl serving that short serve since she was 7. Of course, when she was 7, that's all she could do was short serve.
That's right. We put her on the big net. Yeah, I remember.
Good deep serve this time. Gets him out of system. Set to the right side, though. Cockrell. Good dig. And a cross-court swing by Rostai. A center playing defense. How about that?
Yeah.
Roll shot from Gamby.
That's plus.
Tip shot deep. Stark runs it down. Good dig. Rostai back. Gamby on the outside. Down the line swing. Wide open. Good shot there by Gamby.
Yeah, Gamby, again, she's got shots. As the left side pinheader, she hits cross court deep, and that was a great swing, line shot. You got to mix it up. I mean, they're down by 7, but they're starting to play a little bit better. And they made from the libero of Tinora. They served to everyone else but her.
Roll shot. Cockrell takes some off. Finds the big hole. You get them all backed up and you bomb a few. And then there it is, that shot, that roll shot to the campfire in the middle of the floor. Scores.
Yeah, that's hard. People just don't understand how difficult that is. And, you're up trying to dug in, expecting a hard swing, and you got that roll. That's volleyball.
That's the one-hand shot that looks like a change-up in baseball. You come up and you load up and you're expecting big swing and then just softly drop it in there. Good pull out of the net by Rostai. Krebs gets it over. Tip from the right side. Rostai gets it up. Krebs tips it down. She's going to score. Good reaction there by the middle on a great diving dig by Zoe Rostai. Again, setter playing some great defense in the last few points.
Yeah, I mean,
if you get a setter that plays defense, what a plus that is.
Oh, huge. A lot of setters just want to release and say, hey, you guys in the back row take care of it. I'm releasing. I got a harder job than you do.
Katie Kuhn play any defense for you?
She did. She played good defense.
Back row attack from Cockrell, dug by Schaublin. Sebring sends it up to Gamby, deep roll shot. They are trying to use Cockrell in the back row a little bit. That ball's blocked. Good coverage by Pleasant. Tenora's got to push those down. Middle swing this, dug by Schaublin. Another setter playing good defense. Gamby off the top of the block. Poked up in the air, tipped over by Pleasant. Gamby is there. Schaublin back to Gamby out in the 3 zone. In the seam. Paige Gamby scores again. Tinora, 5 of the last 6 points. A little mini run here, cut it to 21-15.
I would expect that Marion Pleasant, seeing how this goes, might be calling a timeout soon because there's been Tinora went on a run. They've had some success.
Well, their head coach is about 5'1". Corey Uda is very short over the sidelines.
This is a big point.
Push to the outside, swing off the block. Gamby with the dig, Krebs on the 2, attacks it. Good one-hand poked up dig there by the setter Smith. Roll shot over the block. Krebs with the dig. Schaublin out to Gamby. It's tight. She has to left-hand slap it over. That's picked up by the Spartans. Now set from the right side. Attack air in the net. Another point. Tinora, 16 now. 21-16. They trail by 5.
Yeah, there's going to be a timeout needs to happen here soon for Marion Pleasant.
Looks like she was thinking about it, but she's not going to do it. She just encourages her team. I'm going to say one more point. She's got to take one here, right? It's a 6 points, and 6 out of the last 7 points have gone to Tinora. Set to the outside. Another attack air. Pleasant now starting to have the errors pile up on him a little bit. There it is. Coach Udy is going to take her timeout. Tinora fighting back in set 2. They trail just 21-17. Another timeout put to us by Clubhouse Pizza Nay. We'll take it with them. Be right back after this.
You smell that burger? It's coming from the Firestone Tavern. For 3 straight years, Firestone Tavern has brought home the award for best burger in the region. Firestone Tavern is also a go-to for wood-fired pizza, great appetizers, and so much more. Chef Aaron and his fantastic staff are here to serve nothing but the best to their customers. Be sure to stop out after the game tonight for ice-cold drinks and all the games on TV you can ask for. Located at 211 Carpenter Road at the Eagle Rock Golf Course. In a hurry? Give Firestone Tavern a call at 419-785-4015. Online ordering is also available at firestonetavern.com. Firestone Tavern wishes the best to the Tinora student athletes. Back to the action on Tinora Rams Sports Live.
So we're back out here at Butler High School. Coach, this is the fight you expected to see out of Tinora. They lacked confidence. Again, they're a little shook by a change up to the lineup in the roster. And, that's not an excuse, but now they're starting to find themselves and get back into it here.
Absolutely. They went on a run, and it makes a big difference. And now they have a different feel on the court. You can just see their energy being different. It's a big serve.
They scored 7 out of the last 8 points, I should say. Schaublin, good serve, set to the outside. That's Toole off the block. Get the side out, but Brooklyn Davis puts it away, ends the Tinora run.
And I will say this about Marion Pleasant again. They went to their pin left side hitter, and she tooled the block.
Tough serve, good pass though from Stark. Schaublin pops it up to the middle. Krebs tries to go deep, roll shot, just hit that ball. That ball with all fingers coming off the hand, long out of bounds.
This is a sport that can just change so quickly. You can fight so much, and then within 30 seconds, 2 more points are scored against you.
Tough serve this time. Out of system ball. Gamby hits it. And just like that, Tinora has the momentum, it felt like, but now Pleasant's got set point on the board again. They lead 24-17.
It was all about not good passes. The left pin hitter for Marion Pleasant made a big swing, and then the next 2 were serve receive pattern and errors by
service error by the Spartans. Lexi Hutchinson serves that long. Tinora stays alive.
I've been on both sides of it. I've been down 24-20, have come back and won 26-24. Weirder things have happened in this game. They really need to find a way here.
Good serve from Gamby, tied on top of the net, tipped down by Morris, able to let Pleasant reset. That's blocked, covered by Pleasant. Roll shot from the middle, deep. Gamby runs that down. Schaublin pushes it outside to Morris. Morris is blocked, covered by Schaublin. Seburn's going to go out to the right side to Alina Ankney. She's blocked as well. Oh, they say that wasn't over. Oh, that clearly hit the blocker's hands. Wow, a couple tough calls here. It's not costing the match or anything, but it's 25-18, but still, that's a big point.
It is. That's a big point. And I got to tell you, as an official looking, was right in front of the head referee. That's a hard to see, but obviously she felt she saw it.
So she says no touch on the air. Marion Pleasant wins the second set, 25-18.
And I got to tell you, it's like that's the frustration part as a head coach. You're just like, we don't have the replay system that the college games have. And maybe that will be a future thing because that's a replay, just to see.
Yeah, that's a challenge card right there.
It is a challenge card. You're right.
All right. Well, Rams find themselves the same position they were in the regional final, down 2-0, right?
Right. Against New Bremen. And now they got to find a way. They got to dig in. And what I know, and what I only watched the fifth set, is that the difference is that the serving became aggressive and they passed the ball and system better. And you know what? Sometimes it's like teams respond. They're down 0-2. What do you have to lose? Well, you're going to lose the match if you just don't let it go. Right. So go play free.
And Tinora did get some momentum there. They had a run there to get close to the end of the second. So if they can just build on that, we'll see if they can do it.
Yep, 21-17, and they had the serve. It just how quickly it changes. But it's about they just can't pass the ball consistently enough in system, and they have to have shots. They have to have, but, that's a combination of serving tough and trying to pass the ball as consistently as possible.
Yeah, but how many of their serve receive passes have been 3-option passes so far for Tinora?
Very few.
Their setters are setting from 8, 10, 12, 15 feet off all night long.
And if you have an outside pin hitters that are really good, that can make a big difference of, it's like, doesn't matter. You can still have a good swing because it's in front of them. It's in the front row, but that's really hard. Well, now Tinora has nothing to lose.
Nope.
Go
play free. You're here. You made it this far. There's no need to roll over and die.
No. And there's no need to feel pressure. There isn't, because right now, how the beginning of this third set sets the tone. It does.
Yep.
It's hard to sweep a team, especially at this level in the Final Four of the state tournament.
Even Coldwater, who's the number one team in the state,
yes, exactly.
And they were by far the better team in that first regional or the first state semi. Mm-hmm. They lost a set to Independence. Independence rose up and got one from them.
Right.
Not that Independence was bad, but it's just that Coldwater was better.
Exactly.
So we'll see here what Tinora can do. They need to regroup. Coach and the team got the crowd fired up there, trying to egg their girls on. They definitely have the support of the community.
They do.
Every match.
How many people dressed in green are here?
It's a green out here.
It is
in the purple Butler Aviators Gymnasium. What a neat mascot name, the Aviators.
That is a neat.
We have in our conference we have the Ayersville Pilots.
Oh wow.
The Aviator is like a step above a pilot. It's just like it's a cool mascot name.
That is. All right, the first 5 to 10 points of this set are the key.
Who's got the momentum from that third? Was it Tinora that made the run, or was it Pleasant that slammed the door at the end? Who's going to carry the momentum into the third set?
I would sometimes at timeouts in between sets, I would talk about, if you push them. If I'm Marion Pleasant, I would be like, we see the blood in the water. You need to really push them. Push them. We'll see how they respond when they're down 0-2. And if you're Tinora, you're like, hey, let's go.
Cameron Roberts, sophomore DS, the lefty, will serve for Pleasant to start this third set. And Tinora gets called for a rotation error. Boy, you don't want that to start the set. It's not the end of the world, but man. I saw the down official warn Tinora about this before. This is where your setter's in 1, but they want their left side, who's in 2, to swing left. So they push her all the way to the left.
Okay.
And Coach Haggerty talked them out of it.
Yep.
Good.
We've
been incorrectly called for this several times.
Usually they have the rotation on a piece of paper that they look at.
So that's not a service ace. Reset it, 0-0 still. Right back to Gamby. It is an ace. Never mind. Gamby unable to handle that. Boy, Pleasant has been the tougher serving team so far tonight.
They've been aggressive in the serving area. There's no question about that. And you know what? Some people get passive about that. Like, just put it in because we're up 2-0. Oh, no. You got there because you were aggressive, so continue it.
Roberts serves again. Gamby, good pass this time. Rostai sets it up behind to Noggle. Big rip, poked up in the air, almost to the rafters with one hand. Bit of luck there for the Spartans. Rostai set it up. It's too high, but it's overpassed. Noggle didn't attack that ball, just tipped it over.
Tip it.
Noggle swing is dug. Overpass, Sebring, Rostai. Morris is blocked, one-on-one. Big block out there by Davis, brought to you by Hall Crop Insurance.
Yeah, their setter didn't even go up. She's just one-on-one out there. That's good movement as a middle to go out there and block the pin hitter.
Not only block the pin hitter, but a left-handed pin hitter.
Exactly. Yeah, she stayed inside. She did a really nice job. She didn't go out to the pin.
Tip there from Nagel, but good job. Cockrell gets there. Instead of backdoor, she gets through the block. Gamby with a dig, though. Rostai pushes farther out. This time trying to go down the line, avoid the block, but bounces off the tape and goes wide, out of bounds. Attack air, 3-0. Rams trail. So not the start you want to this third set, Coach, if you're the Rams.
No, you're not. This is not a good beginning. They got to get her out of the serving box. And right now, I mean, I understand why the setter would want to do that, but
middle from Pleasant threw that ball down, but also drug her hand in the net. So that's an attack error for Davis, and Tinora gets their first point on a bit of a break. They get a break there, attack error.
Now they got to take advantage of it in the serving box first.
It's only 3-1. You're still right there. Morris will serve, the lefty senior for Tinora. High bump set to Cockrell. Great set, though. She pounds it. Good dig from Sebring. Overpass right back to Cockrell. Another high ball. This time she goes down the middle. Morris with a diving dig. Rostai behind her. Nagel swinging with nobody in front of her, and she overcuts it out of bounds. Oh, there. You can see the middle because the setter is so short in the front row for Pleasant. She doesn't even jump, Coach.
That was a really good choice of where you set it. You just got to put that, her feet and her body out of bounds, and that's where the ball went.
The middle blocker for Pleasant thought it was going outside, so she committed. Good line swing that time. Gamby unloads on one, and she's trying. You don't see a lot of big screams from Gamby, but she said, let's go after that one.
Exactly. She's bringing a lot more emotion. Everybody's got to bring their own, even if they are not playing very well. I would always talk about people who don't bring emotion are selfish. You got to bring it.
You got to get outside your comfort zone for your teammates' sake. There's a block, solo block by Tatum Krebs on the tip attempt. Block Cockrell. That's probably the first block of her all night.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's the first block on Cochran.
Now, granted, it was a two-hand tip, not a swing, but still, a block's a block.
Exactly.
Brought to us by Hall Crop Insurance. Sebring will serve again. Goes back to the short serve, too short. Into the tape and down. Service error. She got an ace on the short serve before, but that time didn't have quite enough on it. That's a fine line when you want to have an effective short serve.
Yeah, it's very effective, especially if you have a really good middle and you serve right at her in that area to take her out of setting the middle.
Sebring, good pass. Rostai out to Gamby, and leashes again to the cross court this time. Paige Gamby starting to heat up. She did this in the third set last weekend.
And she's taking advantage right now that they're only solo blocking her at the pin, and she's taking advantage and done a really nice job of swinging. She's by far the most emotional player right now on the floor for Tinora.
Because again, Sydney Smith, the setter for Pleasant, is in the front row, and she's maybe 5'3", 5'4".
It's that, yeah.
She doesn't even jump to block, so you really only have two blockers up there. Should be an advantage Tinora can take advantage of. But there's a kill for Cockrell out of the back row. Not a lot on that ball, but the dig attempt goes over into the referee stand.
And I think that's you as a digger have to just be still at contact and let your platform, and it just reflects off. It wasn't a hard hit. That's hard.
Cockrell now goes to the back row. It's 6-4. Spartans on top here in this third set. Gamby pushed too far out that time. Had to throw two-hand tip that. She's going to get a kill out of it, though. Good diving dig there. The libero, Pendleton, got the dig right in the middle of the floor. She stands up when none of her teammates got that second ball, looks around like, hey, girls, help a girl out here.
And, Gamby's in the back row right now. The people in the front row for Tinora right now have to step up and make up the difference for her emotion and her swings.
Tatum Krebs in middle is an all-Ohio performer as well. There's an attack error by Pleasant. Wilson overcuts that ball out of bounds. Tinora is now tied this third set up at 6 apiece, and the Tinora Rams crowd comes to life again. Tip down the line. Schaublin pokes it up in the air. Sebring bump sets it up to Morris. Morris, cross-court shot off the top of the block, dug by Cockrell. Set to the outside, blocked by Tinora. Out of bounds, though. Touch block. Schaublin making a diving effort. Couldn't quite get there. Kill for the Spartans. They take the 1-point lead back, 7-6.
Yeah, but Tenora's back in this match. They're playing better. They're a little bit more consistent. They're pass receiving better, and they're putting the ball in play.
Krebs off 1 foot is dug tight though. Overpass. Tatum Krebs goes up and kills that overpass. This is the lady I got this term from. I use it all the time. She kills the yummy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I called that yummy my entire coaching career, and I got that from you. Those are delicious little treats for those middle blockers.
And you know what? You want them to make sure you put it down, but also stay out of the net. And she did very well right then.
Off-speed shot is going to be a kill, taking advantage of the middle playing defense. The outside hitter, Davis, saw the middle and left back as Krebs has to serve, and she rolled it in front of her, and she's not as mobile as a libero would be there. So smart coaching there. Hit the ball, make the middle play defense if she's going to stay in.
Exactly.
Veladunda with the serve. Noggle with the slide, mini slide behind. That overpass is tapped down by Avery Morris. That's another yummy, but it wasn't over far enough to swing at, but she was smart enough to just reach up with 2 hands and tap it to an open area in the middle of the floor.
Yeah, there's a change in the momentum right now. I mean, Tinora is now doing a really nice job of playing better floor defense. They're better at the net. It's made a big difference.
But is that a concern that you're playing that much better? You're doing a much better job, but it's still only 8-8. You haven't even got a lead yet, you know?
I know, but you just...
but you're almost there.
Yeah, you just have to... But you just...
Rostai comes in, goes for the deep serve, misses it long.
There's so much timing involved with the missed serves. You know, that was an aggressive serve, and I like that it went over and they had to make a decision whether it's the bottom of the net, but...
It wasn't much of a decision. It was long by about 10 feet.
But you have to say the right thing, so yeah, okay.
They still had to make a decision, but
they did.
It'd been a really bad one to try to go get that ball. Avery Morris passes it, gets it back. She's dug into the net. Smith pulls it out somehow, stays out of the net. Free ball for Tinora, though. Cross-eye to Noggle. Noggle pounds it left. No touch, out of bounds. Boy, when you're on that far, it's such a narrow window to swing to go left from there.
Exactly.
That's a tip down or a cut the other way.
Right, or you just have to line. She's facing out of bounds again of just trying to get your hips to the back corner, not the sideline. That's hard. Good swing.
Pleasant goes up by 2.
Go in. Oh.
There's a service ace. Gamby's pass to the left and into the net. Rostai couldn't get there. Now a 3-point run here from Pleasant. They've opened up a 3-point lead, 11-8. This is the same server that gave Tinora trouble to start this set. Roberts.
She started the third set, did she not?
Yes. That looks like it's long. It is. Service error. Back to the Tinora. 11-9. Tinora trails by 2. A little bit more back and forth this set for sure. Sophia Stark will check back in. She's been splitting time in the back row all year with Avery Morris. 2 seniors. Morris plays the first 3 rotations across the back, and then the second time Avery goes the back row, Sophia Stark comes in and plays. She's been a real key to some of the runs Tenora's had in several matches this year. Gamby in transition. She's dug. Sent to the outside. Cockrell down the line. Kill. Cameron Cockrell gets another kill here tonight.
Impressive swing. You know, Tenora's playing rotation defense on the right side in front of the left side hitter. And, you know, they've done a good job of covering right behind the block. But that time it's called, as a defensive player, you have to get there and be set and still and then dig the ball. Oh.
Tape shot. Good job by Rostai poking that ball up. They're going to call Sebring for a double contact on the push over the net. Such a tight call.
I gotta tell you, I mean, what I have seen, I know that I've not watched a lot of high school, but wow, you know, you can do anything with the ball now. You can kick it. I mean, my question would be, if they served at me and I was a serve receiver, if I caught the ball, then just threw it up in the air, you know, I mean, as long as it didn't go over the net, I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, that was a
huge
call.
play there, because that tape serve drops right over the net. Rostai, the setter, running to her target, was the only one close. She dove, punched it in the air. Sebring diving, throws it over with 2 hands. Looked semi-clean.
Yeah.
Definitely not bad enough to call, but tough call.
Just let them play.
Timeout called here by Coach Haggerty. Rams now trail 13-9.
That difference, instead of 13-9, it would be 12-10 potentially.
Yeah.
All those little mini runs of 3 or 4 points. I had a great assistant coach, Brian Hoffman, and we would always talk about those little mini runs. If you get 3 or 4 and then you give up 1, and then you get 3 or 4, you just add them all up and you have a 6-point lead.
Yeah.
It makes the difference.
I mean, in rally scoring, every close call is a 2-point swing.
It is.
Instead of being down by 2, you're down by 4.
And this
Maddie Pendleton, the senior libero, no serve for the Spartans. Right to Sophia Stark. Again, pass about 15 feet off the net. Rosti sets Gamby. Good coverage by Sebring on the block. Rosti set her dump this time. Outside swing for Pleasant. Right to the middle. Good dive there from Rosti. And then Gamby with the save over her head. They fed it to Cockrell in the middle of the net, and she had an attack error of all things on a yummy.
With an overpass.
She missed a kill on an overpass. I bet she's not done that more than
probably all season.
You could count on one hand how many times she's done that.
It was wide open, but it happens at times.
Yeah, the ball just looks so big, and you just want to smoke that thing.
It drives coaches nuts.
Now she's going to tip that ball on the set off the net. Rosti with the dig. Sebring to Gamby. Gamby tips it to the middle. She's dug by Cockrell. Setter dump. Gamby slaps it back over.
I know.
They blocked Cockrell this time, but coverage is there.
They committed well that time.
They didn't commit back. They went right back to Cockrell, and they didn't have the double block up the second time, and she gets the kill. The double block sent her back the first time, but they didn't get back up there again. The setter's in the front row. Now she's in back, but the left side has no reason to drop back off the net.
And you just have to keep reminding them, hey, I had college players I had to remind to do that.
We're trying to remind them from up here. I don't think they're hearing us.
Yeah, I don't think they're hearing us.
Gamby, swing down the line. Dug again by Pendleton. Left side swing for the Spartans. Good dig from Stark. Now Gamby in a better system swing this time. Good dig, though, on the overpass. There's a tip for Cockrell out of the middle. That's going to score. Just a little left-hand swipe tip to zone 4.
You know
Such a smart shot.
Marion Pleasant has
She's
been
a sophomore,
very,
coach.
very good in the back row. They've dug some of the best shots that Tinora has hit at them. And, that's a big swing. That's a big transition. She was smart enough just to roll it over. Sometimes you go right back to that blocker who's not involved.
Krebs is blocked. One-on-one by Cockrell. She's hitting, she's killing, and now she's getting blocked.
She's legit.
It's up too about the difference here in strategy, coaches. Tenora's going to take another timeout here. They trail 16-10. That's their last timeout of this third set as Coach Haggerty is sensing the urgency here. If they don't turn this around now, it's going to get away from them. But the difference is Pendleton's a fantastic libero for Pleasant. Sebring is a fantastic libero for Tinora.
Absolutely.
Sebring plays left back. Pleasant's playing their libero and middle back, and she's digging everything back there because Tenora's hitting a lot. You get more opportunities in middle back, don't you?
You do, and I mean that's the last line of defense. We always talk about, the blockers in the front row is the first line of defense. Your left and right back are your second, and putting a libero in middle back, and as good as she is, makes a big difference because she contacts a lot. But, that's what coaches scout, and they look at tape and go, okay, we're going to try to get to this area of the court because the left back, for Tinora, Sebring is very, very good. So we're gonna make sure that as pin or middle hitters, we're gonna swing away from her. This is really important right now because it's shifted, and now Pleasant sees I always called it blood in the water because they're seeing the end result here. Once you get almost to 20, it's kind of like it's the red zone.
16-10. Pleasant with the lead. Good pass from Stark. Rosti goes to Krebs. Krebs solo blocked by Cockrell. Again, back-to-back. One-on-one opportunities for Tatum Krebs. She's been fantastic all year, but boy, she's just hitting the ball right into the hands of Cockrell.
And that's the thing. It's, again, she hit it hard. She just hit it straight. It's called just tip it. Just touch it.
Or you have lots of room to cut either way when you're solo blocked.
And the way they're playing defense, Pleasant is right now, Pleasant's putting on a clinic of blocking.
That time she goes to the left, gets around the block. Good cut that time from Krebs. After Gamby was blocked, Tinora coverage was there. And they get the transition after the block pickup.
And for Marion Pleasant right now, all they have to do is just stay even. Be up by 6, be up by 5, be up by 6. And you run out of time. Yeah, it's now or never here for Tinora. They're going to have to serve really aggressively, take some risk. and commit on Cochran in the front row. Wherever she is, that's where you're going.
There she gets a swing from the right side, goes down the line. Good dig from Sebring. Gamby goes down the line. She is dug. Now Cockrell in the middle gets a swing off the block and down. They had a double block up that time, but they didn't push over enough.
And sometimes that happens. It's just so hard. Easily that could have not gone over because she had two blockers. Impressive about her. She gets up off the floor really well. She doesn't need a full approach. She just gathers and swings and reaches high.
Now she'll go to the back line and she'll serve. So opportunity for Tinora. They're down by 7. They've got to go now, and it's a good opportunity because Cockrell's going to be in the back row for 3 rotations. That swing down the line, though, will score. The rotational defense Tinora's playing is not getting to the line anymore, and Davis scores. There's a huge hole down that line.
And, you know, that if you're going to allow that line to be swung, then you're going to have to rotate and make the adjustment defensively. It's hard.
Yeah, you can't, like you said, there's only four players that aren't blocking. You can't defend the entire court.
No, you can't.
A good offense will beat you.
Yep.
Ball from Tinora. Kill on the outside again for Davis. She finds the seam between the right back and the middle back that time. So you move over and take away the line, they adjust, and they hit you down the seam. That's just it's solid execution here from Pleasant. Tinora back on their heels.
Exactly. And Marion Pleasant has been quite successful.
That time, Paige Gamby.
And I always would say things like, you know, forget about it. Just swing as hard as you can, and hopefully you hit hands and it goes out of bounds. I mean, at this point, tipping's passive from the standpoint of just saying, just go for it.
Setter dump from Chaublin is picked up by Pleasant. 21-11. Tinora is down. There's another kill on the left side. Now all of a sudden, Brooklyn Davis getting hot from the left side. She's got 3 kills in her last 3 touches.
And Davis getting hot is the balance that they need to be successful. And she's had some big swings after timeouts. 21-17 in the second set.
It's not a super powerful swing. It's just to an open area.
Smart.
It's tough to dig. Gamby uncorks one there and gets a big swing to get the side out, but boy, Tinora is really up against it now. It's hard to make a 10-0 run on someone at this level.
Oh, absolutely.
And you're down by 10, 22-12.
Right. You need some aces, you need some breaks, and you need to play with relentless pursuit in the back row.
Tinora has put together double-digit runs several times this year, but it hasn't been against a team the caliber of Marion Pleasant. Davis again from the outside. This one's long, bounces off the line judge's shin.
You know what? Maybe Marion Pleasant's going to help. They're going to have to help too. I would always say it's a combination of factors, but the other team's got to help make errors too, because if they're solid and consistent, it's hard to come back.
There's going to be a shank pass, service ace for Paige Gamby.
If you could get some
Tinora
free
keeping
ones.
hope alive here.
Exactly, it shifts.
But it's at the point where you have to play error-free volleyball because they're at 22. I mean, you can't let them get to 23,
they're
24.
They're in the red zone, as football would talk about.
Right.
I mean, they're, you just got to get after it.
Pass this time. Back out to Davis. Roll shot to the middle. Gamby reads it and gets there. She's laying in the way of the setter. Chaublin has to jump over her. So Morris has to just free ball it. Now a quick set in the middle. That's a kill out there for Kensley Davis. She finds the sideline. Pleasant has worked the sideline very well.
Kensley Davis, that was a great swing.
And you talk about those indefensible shots. When you're hitting that cut shot that's right on the sideline.
We don't play defense that way. There's someone standing on the sideline waiting for that ball.
Good pass from Sebring. Chaublin back sets. Krebs over the double block. Doug. Davis down ball right to Gamby, though. Chaublin transition's going to go to Krebs behind her. No, it's going to be Ankney squeezing the ball through. I think Krebs thought that was going to be hers too, but then the ball went all the way out to Lena Ankney, who came in and poked the ball. Got it right between the 2 blockers and down.
And you know what? I mean, Tinora got here because they played great floor defense and served aggressively. This is what they got to do the last points of this match.
Good serve from Krebs. They get them out of system. High bump set to Davis, though. Good swing still. Krebs saves it back in bounds. It's going to be a free ball for Pleasant. They're going to go to the middle. Davis again pounds the ball to the right side. That's Kensley Davis. You got 2 Davises. Kensley Davis, the senior middle, and Brooklyn Davis, the junior outside hitter.
I didn't know she knew that it went over because she tried to hit it again. I'm like, holy crap.
Match point here for Marion Pleasant. They lead 24-15 16-15. Match point brought to us by Okolona Tavern. Good pass from Morris. Schraublin upsets it back to Morris. Her tip is picked up. Transition. They'll go out to Davis. Davis blocked. Covered by by Pleasant. Free ball, though. Noggle out of the middle. Hits the back corner. Nice dig back there by Cockerell. Swing down the line. That's going to be long. Out of bounds. Davis misses that one just barely down the line.
She's had great success down the line. She really has. She's mixed it up. She's rolled to area 3. She's swung the line.
Avery Morris really thought that was her serve. She seemed really intent on serving that ball, even though Zoe Rostai was subbing into the game to go back and serve. The senior setter will serve. Rams trail 24-16 this third set. That ball jammed into the net that time. Kensley Davis tried to just get on top of that thing and throw it down, but threw it into the net. So point to Nora. They stay alive. Rostai, right-hand jump serve. Good pass back there by the libero. Swing from the right side. Another attack error. Davis puts that one in the net.
Wow. There was really no one up. That was a free swing at the net.
Couple of attack errors.
If Tinora gets to 20, it's going to get interesting. Because everybody's like, it's only 1 point, but you have to do it. You have to earn it. It just doesn't come to you.
Sets going to the outside to Davis off the top of the block. Gamby with the dig. Rostai out to Morris. Morris tools the block. Doug jousts to the net. Tipped over by Nago. Right to picked up and throw it down. That's going to be a kill for Kensley Davis. And Marion Pleasant wins the third set, 25-18. They take the match 3-0 over the Tinora Rams. 25-11, 25-18, 25-18. Tenora's magical season is going to end at 27-1 in the state semifinals. Very similar to what happened 6 years ago. They made the state semifinals at 28-0. They lost to Independence to finish 28-1 that year. But congratulations to Pleasant. They played better volleyball tonight than Tinora. They came out here and earned it and played excellent. And now they get a matchup with the number 1 team in the state, Coldwater, tomorrow in the finals.
And hats off to Tinora. It is so hard to maintain that excellence of being undefeated all season long. And, it wasn't so much about what they didn't do. It's what Marion Pleasant did tonight. From the very beginning, they were the aggressor and they set the tone. And it showed. So congratulations to both teams. Great volleyball. But I will say this. Tinora, I know they have a lot of seniors, but I know you're very disappointed, and it's really hard because there's only one happy team at the end of the year. But to get to this point is phenomenal.
Right.
You can't take that away. And your head should be held high, and the great support of all these wonderful forest green people who are so happy to be part of this great legacy. And Coach Haggerty is such an excellent job of continuing to coach this team and what they had to do to get here. But it was Marion Pleasant's match tonight. They set the tone, and they can a lot of contributors. I was impressed with that offensively.
Unofficially, I have Cameron Cockerell finishing with 16 kills. So she averages 6 kills per set. She almost gets her average. She's just over 5 kills per set here tonight. But boy, for just a sophomore, that girl has got a bright future ahead of her.
Does. She's going to get a lot of looks. And
there's more and more bigger D1 colleges that are recruiting. Used to be if you weren't 6 foot, you didn't get a sniff.
Right.
But 5'10" player like that can elevate off 2 feet with not much approach.
She's a 6 rotation player. Yeah. It makes it attractive. Everyone looks and evaluates players differently, but a sophomore in the state of Ohio who's that gifted, she's going to get offered something I would anticipate very soon, because it used to be when you were maybe a junior. Well, now they're offering freshmen and sophomores, so she's going to get a lot of attention. And tomorrow against Coldwater will be very big challenge.
Yeah, For sure.
But you know what? They have to have a lot of confidence walking off the floor tonight. It doesn't matter if you're number 1.
Yeah.
Tinora was number 5.
All right.
So, hey.
Rankings don't matter. It's just a number.
I don't know what Marion Pleasant was. Were they ranked?
14. They weren't top 10, but they were 14.
But again, they got hot when it really counted.
Yeah, and all 3 of their losses this year, they turned around and beat those teams when they played them the second time.
That's excellent.
Including a team that just lost in the Division 4 state semifinals.
Oh, wow.
In Shelby. So
congratulations.
So,
well, you know what? I am honored to have this opportunity. Love your daughter, love your family, love Tinora, loved going and doing camps there for many years. And congratulations to the coaching staff and to the players. What an excellent year. And obviously, understandably, a disappointing ending. But I don't know how many schools are in this division, but to be in the Final Four is significant.
Yep. The way they do these divisions now, Coach, was they did
them a lot different.
They took the top 64 schools and made them all Division 1 sidewise.
Oh.
They took the next 64 and made them all Division 2 because they thought that the disparity of talent when you talk about especially Division 2, when you had the biggest Division 2 and the smallest Division 2 was such a difference. So they just made Division 1 and 2 64 schools. And then they took the remaining 5 divisions and divided the remaining schools equally. And it works out to about 135 schools per division now from 3 through 7.
Think about that. I would say many times it's like, okay, so there are 426 schools in Division 3 and you're in the Final Four. I mean, that's hard. Whatever it would be.
Right.
And to be in the Final Four. And, that's very, very difficult. And it's disappointing because you work so hard to get here and, you beat a top 3 team to get here and felt you had great momentum. And they did.
Yep.
And tonight they were outplayed by a team that played better tonight. So, I don't know if you played them 9 out of 10 times, what would happen?
Right. But you don't get that luxury. This isn't a series like the pros.
No, it is not a series.
It's whoever's better on that one night. No. So let's get into the post-game show brought to us by Bidlack Insurance and Financial Strategies. And we'll look at some of these stats are not going to be great for the Tinora Rams, but we'll go through them anyway. Brought to us by BSN Sports. Tinora finished with more attack errors than they had kills tonight. They hit a negative number.
Yeah.
23 kills, 25 errors, 0.17 attack percentage. Paige Gamby got to double figures. She had 10 kills, but it took her 46 swings to get there, and she had 7 errors for an 0.65. And after the 10, the next highest kills was Tatum Krebs and Avery Morris with 4. So, Tinora just did not have anywhere near their typical offense tonight as a team. Kenzie Naga with 3 kills, 5 errors. Morris with 4 kills, 5 errors. Krebs with 4 kills, 5 errors. So, again, the errors outdo the kills. You're looking at a bad night. And then at the service line, 48 serves, only 5 aces. Tinora had 16 against New Bremen. That was a 5-set match, I get, but only we said they averaged 4 aces per set, and they only had 5 in a 3-set sweep. So. They didn't get it done at the service line.
Probably the lowest they had all season.
For sure. 5 aces is definitely the lowest they've had all season. Zoe Rostai, 11 assists. Ellis Schaublin with 7. Defense, Paige Gamby, 13 digs. Paige Sebring, 12 digs. Schaublin had 8 digs from the setter position. Just 2 blocks for Tinora. Krebs with a solo, and then a double block with her and Christina Meyer. And as we talked about before, They served away from, Paige Sebring is the libero. She's in every single serve receive.
She is.
She only passed 12 balls in 3 sets.
Yeah, that was noticeable. They had a strategy, and it was a good strategy.
Yeah.
I would many times say, why are we continuing to serve at the best defensive player they have in the backcourt? And sometimes, you have a libero that steps in, and she's a middle back and serve receive. She steps to the left and right and takes the ball away.
She passed 12 balls at an average rating of 2.66. So, they did a good job not to go to her. Conversely, Paige Gamby, 23 balls. Avery Morris and Sophia Stark, who played the same position, and combined to pass 32 balls.
Both pin hitters.
Yeah. So, good plan by Pleasant here tonight. Good execution of the plan. Everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face, Mike Tyson famously said, right?
And, the beginning of the first set, it was just a little overwhelming, and I thought they'd settle down a little bit more into the second set. And, they got within 21-17 and didn't quite get over the hump.
They hung right. I mean, it was 7-7. It was 8-8. It was 11-9. They were right at 13-10. They were hanging in, but then a 4-point run by Pleasant and a side out, and then a 5-point run by. Next thing you know, it's 22-11. Those mini runs that don't feel that many. So
That's hard. It's just those many runs are the difference in the match.
Yeah, well, Coach, I tell you what, this was, as I said, I coached volleyball for, I'm not done, I don't think, but I've coached volleyball for a little over 20 years and learned a lot from you when you guys would come run your camps at Tinora, when my wife was the head coach, and at Southview when I was the head coach there. And we've had many talks, not just
Yes,
at camp.
have.
We would, I would come up and see you guys play at Ohio Northern there in your unair conditioned, sweaty box. And
we had such an advantage.
and you are one of my coaching mentors. I lean on you for advice on several things, not just volleyball related.
Absolutely.
And so I appreciate all the stuff that you've done for us and our family throughout our volleyball careers. Now, a part of that ends as our kids are now done playing volleyball. Paige has no intentions of playing at the next level, and Michaela was done after a freshman year of college volleyball. So we have no more kids playing volleyball, but I might go back to coaching volleyball. I'm not sure.
Well, again, you
want to be a JV high school coach?
No, I got to say, high school's probably better right now than even college with NIL and all the other things that are involved with that. But it's just been an honor and a privilege to even be asked to do this. It's wonderful, and I love the game of volleyball. I enjoy it. I live in Columbus, and I enjoy going to Ohio State matches, watching 6'4", watch them play Penn State. They have a 6'7" girl who can move. I'm like, wow.
Wisconsin's got 6'9", 6'7", 6'4" across the front row.
What's really neat is how good the sport has become. I know all women's sports have really just blossomed, and volleyball is one of them. And when I came to Ohio in the early 90s, my state of Iowa had better developed volleyball and had better volleyball than the state of Ohio. And Ohio was a little slow and late getting to it. But now, because of the population size and the great clubs that are in Ohio, it's exploded. And there are amazing, very good players in this state. And it's a compliment to the club coaches, but also hopefully the high school coaches who still count.
Well, I saw numbers that now there's more girls playing high school volleyball in Ohio than there is playing high school basketball.
Yeah.
It's the most popular girls sport.
It's, there's pluses and minuses with everything. And I always am still, people could say, well, that's kind of old school, but I still like the multi-sport student athlete. And, they're still alive and well somewhat in the MAC, and they still might play club, but also they play softball in the spring or whatever. And it's allowed by the coaches. But, it allows you to have a whole bunch of different teammates, and you're building up different muscle groups. And
right.
You have the opportunity to just play something different. And I think that's very important rather than specialization, because, you see more kids injured. And at the end of my career, I saw kids coming to Ohio Northern hurt and injured.
Already having an ACL.
Right, and exactly. And shoulder issues and stuff. They were fatigued because they played so much.
We got a little fan back here. It's my nephew. Hi, Ori. He's about as cute as you can get, but he's also a pistol. Yeah. So, all right,
Coach. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much for doing this. I love having somebody up here that knows more about me than volleyball, because I feel like I talk a lot of smart volleyball up here and no one cares and isn't impressed.
Yeah.
Just like, shut up and tell us what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Just tell. Hey, did we win? That's all that counts. I get it.
Thanks for everyone for tuning in all year.
Appreciate you.
We had some huge numbers in attendance and watching our broadcast. But this will be on after the match is over. Disappointing. I'm not sure how many people are going to watch knowing that we already lost, but super proud of these girls. Again, 27-0 to finish 27-1 in the state semifinals is nothing to be ashamed of.
No, outstanding.
Congratulations to all the players and the coaches on a fantastic season. And
Thank you again, Michael.
Yep, for Coach Kate Whitty, this is Michael Sebring signing off from Butler High School, saying good night and good sports.
Thanks to all of our sponsors here in the 2024-25 Tinora Rams sports season. Fairchild Family Chiropractic, Dr. AJ, Dr. Kayla, Optimal Performance and Fitness in Napoleon and Defiance, Mr. Jake Rubio, Clubhouse Pizza and A, Jason and Rachel Gilliam, Bat and Stevens Body Shop in Jewel, Ohio, Jeff Bat, Tinora Rams Athletic Boosters, the Wooden Indian Pawn Shop here in Defiance, brought to you by Char Williams, Bidlack Insurance and Financial Services. Thank you, Mr. Tim Bidlack. Cut and Polished Hair and Nail Salon, brought to you by Jenny Bidlack. Whole Crop Insurance by Chad Hall. Signs Excavating, Josh and Brad Signs. Higby Embroidery by Connie Higby. Drop Zone Pizzeria in Ayersville and Stryker. Harold and Liz Scott. Wiener, Hill, Weber, and Stanley. Attorneys at Law. Oklahoma Tavern. Brad and Julie Wilkerson. Maumee Valley Title Agency. BSN Sports. Mr. Jim Garris. Get a hold of him for all your sporting good needs. Firestone Tavern. Stop out and see Chef Aaron out there. Mayfield Engineering. Postgame Insurance and Investments. Northwest Ohio Sports. Check out that podcast. Brought to you by Logan Bailey. Brothers Tacos. Brought to you by Joe and Sheila Salinas. Schlegel Farms. The Schlegel family. Chris, Becky, Kennedy, Ian and Lucas. And Salinas and Michelle Bacon. Laura Kepi. Vicky and Wes Zwiebel. Kevin Weber of Weber Materials. Prosperity Painting. Give Mike a call. Spruce up your inside and outside. Aftershocks, carts, and equipment. Mr. Chad Schock. Stark Brothers Advertising. Get a hold of Brian Stark. Matt Yost of Remax Realty. Straight Line Outdoors Lawn Care and Servicing. Mossy Oak Properties. Get a hold of Kenton McQuillan for all your property needs. Inside's Pub. Thank you, Brandon Inside. Clay Fote at Shelter Insurance here in Defiance. Patriot Outdoor Hunting. Get a hold of Jeremy Bainfeld to sponsor a veteran. Oklahoma Tavern. South 66 Lanes. And our thanks to you, the Tinora Ram fan, for listening.
Thanks for listening to this exclusive presentation of Tinora Rams Sports. Be sure to tune in next for more Rams action and follow us online at TenoraRamsSportsAudio.com or on Twitter at Tinora Rams Audio.